Stop right there. Some of you lot have a GCSE exam in about a month's time from now and you're struggling to answer a full pass paper. But today I'm going to walk you through the 2022 Foundation Edexcel Paper 1. Let's dive right into it. So for our first question, we have to write 3/10 as a percentage. Now to turn any fraction into a percentage, we need to make our denominator 100. So in this case, we'll multiply both top and bottom by 10. When we do that, we get 30 as our numerator. So our final answer is 30%. Easy, right? Next question. Write the following numbers in order of size. Now we know negatives are less than positives, so we're going to start with our negative numbers first. Now to find the smallest negative number, we need the one with the highest integer next to it. Now in this case, it's 10. So we can write -10 first. Next we have -7, and then we have -2. Now let's look at our normal numbers. Now this is straightforward, guys, come on. We start with 0, and then we move to 1, and finally 8. And that's another mark secured. Next, we need to write this fraction as a decimal. Since our denominator is 100, we're going to have two values after our decimal point. Now as our numerator is 9, all we do is write 09, just like that. So 0.09 is our final answer. Now we need to write 327 correct to the nearest 10. So first we're going to look at our tens column, and now we're going to look at the number after it. If it's higher than 5, we're going to round our tens column number up by 1. Now if it's 4 or below, we're going to round it down. In this case, as it's 7, our tens column number becomes 3. So our answer is 330. Easy. Write down the value of 7 squared. Come on, guys. That's literally 7 times 7. And we get 49. That's the first page done. Hopefully you've secured all the marks. If not, we're going to have a serious word. Let's move on to page 2. Write down the name of this quadrilateral. Since it's got one pair of parallel sides, it's a trapezium. Next, write down the mathematical name for this 3D shape. It's a cylinder. Come on. All of you lot will have a bottle in your house, and you know it's a cylinder. Question 7. 42 pounds is shared equally between 3 friends. How much does each friend get? Now each friend will get 42 divided by 3, and that's equal to 14. Right, you've made it to page 3. Now for question 8, you can see we have a bar chart given to us and a table. Now the bar chart has come from the table due to the values. Now we got to write down one thing that's wrong with this bar chart. So the first thing I'd recommend is to look at the table and compare if they've written down the same values. You can see for blue it should be 10. And yeah, they've got 10. Perfect. Now let's see for brown, it should be 15, but on our bar chart, they've written 16. So we can write down that the brown value in our bar chart is incorrect. Question 9. Right, now Danny buys a couple of things and he pays with a £10 note. We need to figure out if his statement, which is I should get £3.30 of change, is correct or not. Now the way we do that is let's find out how much change Danny gets. To do that, we're going to find out firstly how much his order costs. So you got 1 loaf of bread for £1.20, 1 bottle of milk for 70p, and 2 packs of cheese for £2.30 each. So each of their individual values is, as I've just written down now. Now let's just add all of these together, and we get £7.50 as our answer. Now to find out how much change he gets, we're going to do 10 minus 7.5, and that's just simply £2.50. Therefore, Danny is incorrect. Question 10. Now we get some information about 3 days temperature, and we need to find the difference between the temperature on Monday and the temperature on Wednesday. Now to do that, let's first calculate both of their temperatures. So for Monday, we know it's 5, they've given us that in the question. Now Tuesday is 10 degrees less than Monday, so that's going to be -5 degrees. And Wednesday is 3 greater than Tuesday. So Wednesday is -2 degrees. Now the difference in temperature is simply 5 minus -2. If we have a minus and a minus, it becomes a plus, so we get 7. Next question. Now we have a pictogram, and for part A, we need to figure out how many games were sold on Monday. Now we know each box of 4 is equal to 8, and we have 2 of these boxes on Monday. So our answer is 2 times 8, which is 16. Part B, we need to find out how many more games were sold on Tuesday compared to Wednesday. First, let's find out the value of each small box. Now if we know 4 boxes is equal to 8, we know 1 box is equal to 2. Just like that ratio that I've just written down. So on Tuesday you have 11 boxes, that translates to 22. On Wednesday I have 5 boxes, that translates to 10. Therefore the difference is 22 minus 10, which is just 12. For part C, we have to complete the histogram for Thursday and for Friday. Now we know a quarter of 32 was sold on Thursday, so we can work that out now. So 32 divided by 4 is just 8. And as we know 32 in total was sold, we can do 32 minus 8 to find out Friday. Now we simply have to complete the pictogram. Since we know 1 box is equal to 2, on Thursday we should have 4 boxes, and on Friday we should have 12 boxes. That easy, guys. Next question. Now, there are two drama groups in a school. There are 36 boys and 48 girls. We know that 3 out of 7 are boys and the rest are girls, so 4 out of 7 are girls. Now, these fractions are for group 2. Now, for group 1, we know that there are 36 boys and there are 48 girls. Now, we have to figure out if Anne is correct. She says the ratio of boys to girls is the same in each group. So what do we need to do now? Common sense, guys. Let's find the ratio out for both. Now, the ratio in group 2 is simply 3 to 4. Because our denominators are same, we can take our numerators and stick them in a ratio. Easy. And now for group 1, we have 36 to 48. Let's try and simplify this by seeing what number we can divide both sides by and still get a number. You can see what I've done is each time I've gone down, I've divided both terms by 2, and I end up getting to a point where I can't do any more, and that's my final answer of 2 to 3. Now, as you can see, 2 to 3 is different from 3 to 4, so therefore Anne is incorrect. Now, in question 13, we have a sequence question, so let's take a look at this. Emma thinks the next term is going to be 7, and we need to figure out if she's going to be correct or not. To try find the next term, let's look at the difference between each term. So you can see from the first to the second term, the difference is 1. Then from the second to the third, the difference is 2. So our difference is actually increasing by 1 each time. So if that's the case, our difference between the next terms is going to be 3. So 4 add 3 is 7. So Emma can be correct. Now the way we can just simply write that down is the difference between each term is increasing by 1 each time. For part B, you've got triangle numbers, and we need to find out the 8th term in this series. Now with triangle numbers, the difference between terms increases by 1 each time. Since we know this, we can work out all of our next terms up to 8. And we get our 8th term as 36. That easy. I hope you guys found this tutorial useful and easy to understand. If you want to see a part 2 to this video where I finish the whole paper off, drop a like and I'll see you next time.